about what's coming up for you in November, okay? This live is for everyone. I'll be doing 9, actually, you know what? I'll be doing about 10 readings and 2 bonus um, readings for all, okay? So a total of about, I think 14 reads, probably a little bit more than that because in the bonus readings, I'll be doing a bonus for male, female leaders, okay? So I will be starting here in a few minutes so that way people get their notifications. And good morning, by the way. Thank you for joining me. Well, let's get started, viewers, without further ado. Okay, so I'm going to do the first reading for females, then males, and I got some 2 new readings to do after. So go one step at a time with this. Females, let's do your reading, okay? So let's see what's coming up for females in November. 3 cards, please. Envy in reverse. Indecision. The thinking man in reverse. And man holding a heart in reverse. Clarify envy in reverse and man holding a thinking man in reverse. 2 cards, please. Caution. Setbacks. Loss. All right, so what's coming up for you females is what I see is that you're going to be getting over any kind of lack or envy situation. It's going to be a slow process, but what's great is you're going to be making decisions here of where you want to go next here in regards to your love life situation, okay? You're overcoming any kind of setback, especially of any kind of love interests that are controlling or any kind of imbalance in regards to that in your love life, okay? What it leads to is you overcoming these setbacks by doing something different here in order to get through. You're going through an ending of a cycle here in order to have a new beginning here. So, here in the end, females, you're going to be letting go of the past in order to focus your energy on what lies ahead and towards the end of November. I see you just releasing a lot of love interests that don't like are not on the same wavelength as you, okay, females? So your challenge is to make decisive decisions of what you want to let go of in regards to people, places, and things here in November. Okay. So, what can females take away from this reading? One card, please. Find inspiration, females, in collective vision and let your urgency of community guide your path. So, even though you are making decisions and what you want to let go, don't forget to be inspired by the things around you in your community so you can have these new beginnings within inside you and cultivate that, okay? And write down your beautiful ideas because they're not stupid, because this is going to help you feel guided in times of darkness and letting your inner light shine bright, okay? So don't give up, okay, females, just because you're letting things go and people go, okay? It's because that new beginning is going to happen within inside you and then all around you, and you'll see it and feel it too, okay? So that's your reading, females. Really hope it helps. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, okay? So let's move on to males. All right, so what's coming up for males in November? 3 cards, please. Door to Spirit in reverse. Caring connections. Envy in reverse. Woohoo! And 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel in reverse. Clarify door to Spirit in reverse and envy in reverse. 2 cards, please. Leadership. Perfection. Offering. All right, males. What's going down with you in November is I see that you not stepping up in as a role as a leader in your life in order to make a connection come together. That's going to be your challenge, this caring connection that you've been focused on, that love interest. or that friend that you want to turn into a love interest and start dating them, okay? So what it's leading to is you getting over and upgrading yourself through lack and envy. And you're going to be growing through perfectionism too in November. There's not going to be any kind of communication because you're going to be closed off and learning how to express yourself in such a different way. So that way you're expressing your love towards this love interest. Okay. Here in the end, you are going through upgrades and you are spending time getting guidance with your spirit guides or angels here. And you're going to realize a lot of your needs are going to be met throughout November. Okay. Your challenge is this connection. If you want to be vulnerable enough to know how to express your love and start the steps of upgrading yourself to be ready for them. Okay, males? So what can males take away from this reading? One card, please. Embrace the transformation, males, okay? And harness the energy of change to fuel your growth. And you will, because you're going to be a pirate and explore the depths of who you are and activate yourself with wisdom and resilience in order to do something different here, because your love life is going to come into the forefront, males. So whatever you choose will be correct, okay? So start trusting yourself and upgrading, okay? So that's your reading. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you later, okay, males? Let's move on to some new readings. No contact lovers. So what this is for people who have no contact with their love interest or somebody they're focused on in regards to love. Okay? That matter is in regards to you and this no contact lover, okay? So, shuffle the deck and then we'll start, okay? And right after that, we'll go into a reading for distant lovers, long distance relationships, okay? So what's coming up for people with a no contact situation between them and their lover or loving? And then in November, 3 cards, please. Envy, door to spirit, attachment, strategy in reverse. Clarify envy and attachment upright. 2 cards, please. Partnership and unlocking. Investment. All right, so you people that are dealing with your no contact situation with your lover, what's going down between you two is that you guys are going to both experience lack of a partnership here throughout November. So your challenge here is if you want to have a beginning with this no contact lever that you're coming to me about, okay? What it's leading to is you unlocking and making any kind of patterns here so that way there is communication. I see here in the end, you are not going to have a strategy about this. You're just going to finally invest into doing something different in the situation so that way there's a solid foundation between you and this person. I feel like you're going to be open for this new cycle. Whoever this person is going to be revealing how they feel about you. They're not going to hold back, just so you know. I don't feel like you both are going to hold back in how you feel. But there's going to be some kind of investment and also help from the spirit realm too, angelic help. Okay? So heads up with that. Okay? No contact lovers. So what can the no contact lovers that are in this reading take away from this reading? Nurture the garden of your heart. Cultivate seeds of compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness, okay? So what got channeled in the first go around that you guys had, you're coming to realize nothing will ever be perfect, even the first go around. So this is why you had to regroup, okay? And part of your regrouping is learning to cultivate forgiveness, gratitude, compassion between you two, okay? Just so you know, you're going to tap into more of your wisdom. That way you harness more of your grace, okay? Very cool. So that's your reading. No contact lovers. Really hope it helps. And hit the like button and subscribe. We do different kind of readings around here, okay? See you later. Now let's move on to distant lovers. So what's coming up for distant lovers? People who are dealing with long distance relationships in November. 3 cards, please. Temple Path in reverse. Attachment. Envy. All tied up. Clarify the Temple Path in reverse and Envy upright. 2 cards, please. Designer. Helper. As he does it. All right, so people who have long distance relationships, aka the distant lovers, what's coming up for your situation that you're going to be called to be creative here in your love life, okay? And part of your challenge is breaking any kind of relationship pattern here between the discriminaties that's been on in your love life, okay, with you and your long distance lover, okay? What it leads to is you confronting that there's lack of goals being fulfilled here in the relationship. I get lack of emotional support between you two. So I see that you're going to try to do things here in the near future. I'd say possibly in middle of November to see what you can do to get over this lack that's going on between you and your long distance lover. Okay. Here in the end, you're going to feel like things are stuck, but you're needing to come to realize that it's not stuck. It's just things are going slow because slow and steady wins the race here, one step at a time, in order to break these relationship patterns here that are going on between you and your distant lover. Okay. So you'll get over it. It'll be a slow process though. Okay. A lot of nurturing energy coming to this situation. Okay. Because love is very patient. And you'll come to realize when you do things one step at a time here in November, between you helping the situation in order to break things that are not working out with you and your long distance lover, like, here's an example, like nitpicking each other, learning how to manage your time together in such a different way, that kind of stuff. So what can the distant lovers in this reading take away from this reading? One card, please. Embrace the mysteries of the cosmos and let the vastness of the universe inspire your soul. So that way things that you want can change, okay? Because no matter what, everything's always changing. You're just needing to be inspired here for that change, okay? And I feel like you are, because you're going to embrace more gratitude in order for it to be the catalyst of your joy and abundance, okay? So you can embrace more of that, all right? Very cool. That's your reading. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you later, okay? Let's move on to singles, then couples. Yippee! All right, so what's coming up for singles in November? Community, walking away, action in reverse, and second, Archangel Ariel, upright. Clarify community, upright, and action in reverse. Gaia, peacemaker. Helper. All right, singles. When it comes down to your November, what's coming up for you is that you're healing on your own, singles. Because your challenge here in November is walking away from the past, because it comes with a transformation. So that way you have more of a win-win attitude with others. But first yourself, of feeling like that disharmony is going to absolve. It's like you're going to learn a lot about learning more about diplomacy in regards to your romantic relationship. You're going to learn more about that. So more of the Libra harmony is what I got. First, with inside you. I don't feel like you're going to give up on your love life, though, because this is going to help you create and offer more help, like with your services, in order for you to go out in the community and donate more of your time. So that way you get to know people, but also to reevaluate your goals. So that way, singles, I feel here in the end too that you're not swayed by who you like and their desires if they don't meet your desires. You get what I mean? So say, like an example, if your desires is that you want a commitment, you want to date, in order for it to lead to a committal, long-lasting relationship towards marriage, that you're not swayed by someone else's desire of just saying like they want a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of thing, and they kind of do it different where they're like, well, I want to have sex before I even get in a committal relationship. It's pretty much ass backwards kind of stuff. So you're not being swayed by their desire and getting put in a stuck situation. You get what I mean? So here in the end, you're figuring it out, is what I'm trying to say, okay? And you're making sure that your goals align with your desires and not others, okay? Be crystal clear. So what can singles take away from this reading? One card, please. Find courage to explore the unknown, singles, and let curiosity lead you through life's passages, okay? Because if you're not curious about life's singles, then life is really boring. You know what I'm saying? So allow yourself to go out and about when you feel it, okay? And I see you will. Something will inspire you to say, the hell with it. I'm just going to go out. All right, that's your reading, singles. I'll see you later. Let's move on to couples. All right, so what's coming up for couples in November? Happy family. Seventh chakra archangel Uriel. First chakra archangel Michael in reverse. And door 2 spirit in reverse. Clarify happy family upright. And fifth chakra archangel Michael in reverse. Life purpose. Activation. Partnership. All right, couples. Your November looks like is, well, what's coming up for you is you leveling up in this partnership, because you're going to get new ideas and inspiration in order to guide you to more of your life purpose. In this connection, Okay, so I don't see no breakup. Okay, couples, to be crystal clear, you're going to be challenged to use your spiritual process and whatever your belief system is and your intuition in November, okay, to help guide you and activate you. And I feel like you're going to get this push and pull effect possibly in mid-November to spend time doing your spiritual process of meditation to activate, because you're going to feel very insecure, and that's the trigger. You're needing to know that. That's going to be your challenge of taking out that time and space to do it. There won't be any new beginning here. You're in this partnership you're in. So yes, your insecurity is going to weigh into your couple situation, but there's going to be no breakup. You just need to know how to upgrade yourself using your spiritual process when you start feeling insecure, okay? And feeling uncertain. So you'll be triggered throughout November to do this. Eventually you'll unlock it, okay? That's what I get from your reading. And then boom is when you're going to start getting the insights that you need, couples, in November, once you take out that time for yourself to use your spiritual process of meditation, okay? All right, so what can couples take away from this reading? Find peace in the depths of your being and let the quiet strength of your inner sanctuary protect you, okay? And I feel like you will embrace that. It'll get you to embrace other things like your joy, your gratitude too. All right, that's your reading, couples. Really hope it helps, and I'll see you later, all right? Let's move on to employed people. Then self-employed people. It's a quiet morning. Not bad. People will watch this later. Or they probably didn't get a notification. So YouTube AI, if you are listening, get people their notifications. Okay. Oh, wait, here comes people coming in now. So what's coming up for employed people in November? Envy in reverse. Yippee! Magician in the mirror. The thinking man. And the garden in the gate in reverse. Clarify envy in reverse and the thinking man upright. Gossip. Retail. The rebel. So, employed people, what's coming up for you is that you're going to be getting through any kind of lack or envy energy here in your social life, is what I feel. Even work, money, that kind of stuff, okay? But mostly I get social life. You'll be getting over that. You're just needing to make sure your challenge here is to not give up here, because there's changes and expansion going on in November. So don't give in to any kind of gossip here. Or your personal challenges might be distracting you from work, okay? So you're just needing to come into your power of being emotionally stable and understanding your desires here and focus on them, okay? If you start feeling like you are getting melancholy, depressed, you're needing to nurture yourself, okay, throughout November and now until forever, okay? So that way you're still getting revved up and wanting to go to work and, you know, get things done, okay? Because there's much more to life than getting down the dumps and investing into that. So you're needing to learn how to invest in yourself when you get melancholy, down in the dumps, feeling that lack, okay? I see that's what you're going to do. You're going to understand more here and how to save time and energy. So that way you don't feel overworked. So I see you getting over it and coming out of your comfort zone in order to do that. And you're going to be breaking those chains that bind you so that way you're not feeling down in the dumps about your life, employed people. Big hugs. But you're going to get through it, okay? Because you're going to be that rebel without a cause. Actually, your cause is going to be F this stuff. I'm not going to repeat it again. Because I feel like you work a lot and it's taking a hit in other areas of your life. So big hugs, you're going to get through it, okay? You're going to become that trailblazer for yourself and others because you're going to lead by that example. So what can employed people take away from this reading? Trust the guidance of your inner compass, employed people, and let it lead you to your true north, okay? So don't give up and trusting yourself, okay? Because it's going to lead you to forgiving yourself and others and freeing yourself from the burdens of the past. Yippee! The crown, the coral crown. Okay, king and queen. Yippee! So that's your reading. Really hope it helps, goofballs. I'll see you later, right? Now let's move on to self-employed people, then unemployed people. All right, so what's coming up for self-employed people in November? All tied up. Angel of Love. The Thinking Woman in reverse. And Door to Personal Healing and Happiness in reverse. Clarify All Tied Up, Upright, and The Thinking Woman in reverse. Denial. Work Smart. Retail. All right, self-employed people. What's coming up for you is a stuck situation where you're needing to come to realize that if you've been faking it to making money, it's time to take off the mask, okay? Yep, you're going to deal with the reality of doing that, okay? because you're going to realize that ideology don't work for no one. Okay? So your challenge is to give to your creativity and your ideas. Okay? So you're working more smarter, not harder, okay? Self-employed people. So I get this reading for a lot of self-employed males too. Okay? Here in the what it leads to is you coming up with ideas. It's going to be very hard for you to come up with these solutions because you're complicating things. You're not seeing things clearly because you're still in denial about faking it to making it, self-employed people. Now, if you're like, Mary, I'm not doing that, then this is not your reading, okay? I'm saying the ones, self-employed people that are literally buying too much, buying big houses that they can't afford, buying things and expecting to live up to a standard that they know they overreached. Like, I don't think anybody's more or less, but why are you doing this in order to prove what? That you can take out a big loan and then prove it to others that are around you that you're big woman, big man about getting a big house, getting a lot of these luxurious things, when you know our economy's still going through a transformation, you goofballs. Okay? It's going to take a moment throughout, it's going to take a minute for you to figure out how to work smart instead of hard. Okay? I don't see you having a new beginning here in regards to finding new ideas and stuff. I feel like this is going to lead until the end of December, you going through this issue. It's because you're in denial about this. Self-employed people, I get, especially self-employed males that are dealing with this situation of faking it to making it. Oh boy. So yeah, that's your situation. It's going to lead all the way into the end of this year. You breaking free from this old ideology of faking it to making it. Perhaps you are insisting, self-employed people, that reality be something that it's not. So you're going to have to face the reality of it. Financial constraints. I don't wish it on anybody, to be very honest, but sometimes we have to go through it in order for us to really come to realize that the old ideology of faking it to making it needs to be broken. The conditioning that we put in our societies through our entertainment systems, Hollywood, and all that, they really condition kids until like adults of how they have to do these whacked out things just to get money or live a lavish life. And a lot of these people, I mean, look, there's one with MC Hammer. He did it all. He got it all. And then landed up getting bankrupt. And then his next go around, he was a lot smarter about it, you know? So just choose wisely and trust yourself in order to navigate through this. But I feel like it's going to be hard for you to face the music here. of that old ideology, self-employed people, but it's okay. Sometimes if that's stubbornness that is what gets you to finally push out of that your comfort zone. You always find your way, even if you are stubborn. Okay. So I'm really being hopeful for you. Okay, self-employed people that are breaking through this ideology of faking it to making it, because there's much more to life than what you've been going through. Just because you've had stupid people tell you you had to live a certain lifestyle, had to do a certain thing, doesn't mean that you have to overextend yourself to try to meet this status quo that is bullshit. It's like you're breaking through that keeping up with the Jones. I did a blog about it, self-employed people. If you ever want to look into my blog on my website, it's mysticoraclemary.com. And there's a button called blog for seekers. And just look, I just posted recently and how to get through that ideology of keeping up with the Joneses. Because I don't know if you know, but our whole world is going through a transformation, getting through lack and envy. Okay. And so you're part of what's going down. Okay. So if you're wanting to know why finances are not on the up and up, and it's kind of scary for you in November, towards the end of this year, it's because it's getting you to do something different. So that way you're working smarter and not harder. Okay. So what can self-employed people take away from this reading? Find guidance in times of darkness and let your inner light shine bright. Okay. Because you're going to find your way. So use your spiritual power meditation and you getting rest and rejuvenation with your self-care regimen, okay? And I feel like you will, because you're going to give forgiveness to yourself and others, so that way you're not burdened by this anymore, okay? You'll have the coral crown too, sirs and ma'ams. That's your reading, all right? Very hopeful for you self-employed people, okay? And you're always welcome, okay? Big hugs. Now let's move on to unemployed people, then college people. All right, so what's coming up for unemployed people in November? Hostilities, cornucopia, sixth chakra archangel Metatron in reverse, and woo, fourth chakra archangel Raphael in reverse. Clarify hostilities and sixth chakra archangel Metatron in reverse. Mechanic, parenthood, work smart. All right, so unemployed people, this is about your wish fulfillment, whatever that is. You're going to have a situation that's going to challenge your wish fulfillment, where you're wanting to fix things with others, but others are pretty much on the fence of not wanting to fix things with you. I get a job. But what it's going to lead here in the near future is you accepting what is, but transforming and nurturing yourself towards your goals. So I don't see you giving up. It's just you're embracing this, like, okay, I can't fix things with these people in regards to work, so I'm just going to take good care of myself and go into the unknown. And I see that you will. You're just going to try to come up with strategies here where you're working smart, not hard. Just don't be hard on yourself, because I feel as though you're going to have that lack of compassion with yourself where you're trying to figure things out in order for things to be simpler here in your workspace and how you spend and save your money. Okay? The more compassionate and emotionally stable and balanced you are, it'll be easier for you to navigate. Okay? So use your spiritual power meditation and your self-care regimen. Okay? And it'll help you gain those insights and solutions easier. Okay? So what can unemployed people take away from this reading? Embrace your inner creativity, unemployed people, and flexibility, navigating life's twists and turns with ingenuity. Okay? So don't give up, because this is really going to get you to overcome life's challenges. All right? With strength and resilience. That's your reading. Okay? Unemployed people. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Okay? Let's move on to college people, then retired people. All right, so what's coming up for college people in November? Deceit, door to personal healing and happiness, the thinking woman, and fifth chakra archangel Gabriel. Clarify deceit and the thinking woman upright. Spirituality, silence, parenthood. So what's coming up for you college people is deceit in and outside of you. That means gossip, paranoia, that kind of stuff in November. So your challenge is to have a new beginning with inside you, cultivating your spirituality and not giving into sharing too much about your life. Okay? I feel like that you are, and it's going to come with a transformation where you have clarity, emotional stability, and knowledge here. And it's going to be here in the end where it's going to be easier for you to have communication with others, but especially speak your truth towards you and others. Okay, college people, in regards to having your time and you spending time and space nurturing your goals. So I don't see you giving into bull crap in November, because I feel like you're going to meet your challenge of having a new beginning in your personal life with you. Yippee! Upgrades are going to be complete in November for you when you do. So what can college people take away from this reading? Tap into your inner wisdom and navigate life's depths with grace and majesty. And you will, because it's going to lead to curiosity, which is great because life would be boring if there wasn't any curiosity. Okay, so that's your reading. And hit the like button and subscribe, college people, and I'll see you later. Keep locked in, okay? Pretty cool. Move on to retired people. Then a bonus reading, 2 bonus readings at the end. All right, so what's coming up for retired people in November? Seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel in reverse. Strategy. The Thinking Woman in reverse. And the Temple Path. Cheers, gonna have some water. Clink. Clarify. Seventh chakra in reverse and the Thinking Woman in reverse. Denial. Peacemaker. Offering. All right, so what's coming up for you retired people is you upgrading. So your challenge is coming up with this strategy of how you want to upgrade. First, you guys are going to be in denial that a spiritual process is not the way to go to upgrading with inside you. You'll be in denial about it. But what's funny is with coming up with this new strategy as being your challenge for November to upgrade, it's going to lead you to being uncertain how to become that more of that peacemaker in your life with you and others. So it's like you're going to wander around about it. It's like you're going to have that push and pull with inside you about it. You're going to be your head a little bit about it because it's going to be unclear to you. Then you're going to come to the realization that doing a meditation outside or inside on the bottom floor is what's going to help you. It doesn't mean you have to have a belief system with it. You can just sit on the ground or sit in a chair, have your hands open like this on your thighs, closing your eyes, 10 deep breaths in and out. Settle in nicely to each breath. Give yourself that time and space. No expectations. Just let everything filter out of your mind, okay? And when you're done, you'll get that cue because finally that relief is going to come through and your soul is going to sing loud and proud saying it's time to go. And you'll be able to move your hands and your feet and come out of that meditation, okay? And I feel here in the end, that's what you're going to do, because that's why this temple path showed there's going to be a major evolution within inside you, which you're going to see it on the outside of you, because you're going to be guided to do more meditations, okay? Because you're going to gain a lot of insight here through your meditations. So that is going to be the big thing that's going to be the catalyst is in November. Are you willing to do something different to get those upgrades? Meditation is going to be your saving grace, okay, throughout your whole life here on earth. And you don't need a belief system to have one. You just need to invest into having that time and space for yourself. It can be very simple or very easy. It's up to you. But whatever you choose will be correct. Because sometimes we need to resist in order to understand how it is important to us, our own evolution, and how we go about investing in ourselves. So it's okay if you want to resist it, because then you're going to understand very deeply why you had to in order to finally come to not resisting your own evolution by doing a spiritual process like this, okay? So what can retired people take away from this reading? Release the need to control, retired people, and instead surrender to the divine flow of life, trusting that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Okay? So, like I said, it's okay to resist because you always find your way. Whether it's stubbornness, whether it's uncertainty, whether it's whatever, you always find your way. Because then when you release that control is when you're finally going to hear the whispers of your own soul. And you're going to let it guide you because you know what it is. I'm going to tell you just a little sneak peek of what it's like when you hear your soul. It's very loving. It's not demanding. Okay? It guides you every step of the way. Your soul is what channels great spirit. Whatever that is, God or not God to you, okay? But it's been going on ever since we existed, especially as human beings. It's if we want to sit back and listen. And sometimes, actually most of the time, we ignore it until we finally have that hunger, if you want to call it hunger, or that feeling of there's something just more than just the 9-to-5 job. There's something more than just sitting around until I get old and die. You get what I mean? Something stirs within us all to try to find the answer of that lack or that wanting that full fulfillment as a full-fledged human being. And then we go on this journey more of wanting to listen to our soul. And then our soul has been telling us, our spirit, it's been telling the very things and how to navigate things. It's just we had our free will involved with that. You know what I'm saying? So you chose different paths in your life to lead you to this point of finally going, okay, am I ready to listen to my soul, or am I still ready to control the situation more and more? It's okay. If you do control, that's fine. You always find your way and you start being more flexible with yourself in order to release that control. It just takes time, and we're all doing it in different ways. We all have our healings, our evolution times, and stuff like that. Now it's your time, and I feel like you're going to meet that evolution, to be very honest, because you're going to have that feeling of there's something much more than just this. You get what I mean? And you'll find out what that is to you. All right, that's your reading, retired people. Really hope it helps. Like and subscribe and enjoy the journey. I'll see you back later, okay? Let's move on to the bonus reading, and that is for anything else. So if you're coming to this live about anything, this is the reading that you want. So I'm going to give you your answer. First card will be for females. Second card will be for males. Okay. And then I'll give you the overall picture. The last card of the deck. Okay. I just dropped things. So excuse me. Gotta pick up some cards. I'm going to shuffle the deck and then we'll ask the question. Second bonus reading is for any kind of leader, male and female. So we're going to see what's going on in your November, okay? Male and female leaders in your bonus reading. So stick around for that. All right, so first card for females, second card for males of the answer to whatever question they're coming towards me about now and or after the live. And the last card to the bottom deck is the big picture in order to help them have forward movement or whatever question they ask me about, okay? All right, females, here's your answer to your question. You were fortunate. A trap was laid in your situation, but your wisdom kept you from falling into it, okay? So keep on trusting yourself as you move forward out of that situation, okay? Because here's your sign to do so. You avoided a trap, okay? Very cool. Now, males, here is your answer to your question. Harness the power of networking, okay? Cultivating meaningful relationships and strategize your path to success, okay? If it isn't people that support you on your path in whatever ideas that you want to cultivate, it's okay. Everybody has their right to choose something else. You're just going to navigate who wants to work with you and who doesn't, okay? Doesn't make them more or less. If you know they are deceitful, well, you know you need to let them go, right? So here's the big picture for males and females to have that forward movement now. As you navigate the challenges, this challenging time, learn to let go of the past so it won't weigh you down, okay? Yippee! Let go of the past. That's the big picture. Burn that sumbitch, okay? Let go of the past now. Because being right here in the now and feeling rejuvenated in your health and your energy is what's going to be needed in order for you to get things done, okay? Not to get drained from the past anymore, okay? So I'm here to lead you through. Yippee! Okay? Now let's move on to the next bonus reading. This is for male and female leaders. Let's start with male leaders first. Change things around, okay? So what's coming up for... Hold on, one shuffle. All right, so what's coming up for male leaders of any kind in November? Okay, in November. I love getting spicy in a male leader reading. Third chakra, Archangel Chamal in reverse. Man holding a coin. Indecision. And storm warning in reverse. That's a good sign. Yippee for that. Clarify third, what was it? Third chakra in reverse and indecision upright. change the past, offering. All right, male leaders. In November, there's going to be a change up here. And those desires that are not working. Your challenge here in November is to focus on what you value, okay? And being stable through it, nurturing it one step at a time, okay? Because I feel as though your desires are very uncertain or just not coming through. Because there's going to be a change up in November about it, okay? What it's going to lead to is, what do you want to do next? Something's going to inspire you of the past, to make a decision. It could be a love interest, someone you work with. Something is going to inspire you in order to get out of indecision. And I feel as though it's through your spirituality, male leaders, is how you're going to get out of indecision. Through your spiritual power meditation to get out of indecision. It's going to be a clearing up of any kind of storm within inside you too. Hi there, Share Bear. Glad you can join me this early in the morning. There's been people in and out. It's been a quiet morning. I'm surprised. I'm like, good. People either working or sleeping in. So it was nice to see you. So back to you, male leaders. So I see you getting over a storm with inside you. I don't see you getting into any drama or anything, but you giving more into your spirituality and being focused on what you value through this change that's going on in November in your life. Okay? You're going to be adamant too about spending, which is great. 'Tis the season of mending, healing, and releasing, and I feel like you're embracing that, male leaders. Okay? So what can male leaders take away from this reading? Embrace your inner power, male leaders, and let your majestic spirit soar through life's depths, because you'll always see the light at the end of the tunnel, okay, of whatever you're going through, especially in November, okay? And it's going to lead you to being more vulnerable with specific kind of people you want to be, the ones that you trust through these challenges. You're always welcome here, male leaders, in case you need any guidance too, okay? That's your reading, all right? Now we're going to move on to the female leaders, okay? All right, so what's coming up for female leaders in November? The Garden and the Gate in reverse. That's an awesome sign. The Thinking Man. Yin and Yang in reverse. And Magician in the Mirror in reverse. Clarify. Garden and the Gate in reverse and Yin and Yang in reverse. Slow. Manifesting. Gaia. Female leaders. This is about, all right, so what's coming up for you in November is you slowly coming out of your comfort zone in order to express or show more of your talent and ideas. Okay? It's going to be a slow process. And your challenge is to learn and teach yourself, okay, to do this and understand that it's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. And how you want to showcase your talents, you're just needing to put it together one step at a time, okay? And learn from what you need to learn. So here's a good example. When I come on these lives, I don't always have it together, but I have it together enough where in case I get off track of what reading I am, I have a checklist there just in case I need to look. I make sure that I'm on topic so that way I'm not all over the place, but it took me practice because when I used to do these kind of readings, I did tarot and my channeling was quite different then than it is now. That's because I had to do some upgrades along the way. I had to learn some new spiritual practices. I had to learn a lot of different things. And I had to, and how I learned most of it was making mistakes and showing people that vulnerability there. Because I don't know everything, but I know this, that we always find our way. And whatever I learned out of any given situation, that wisdom, I shared it with others and it inspired their growth and expansion. And I started realizing more and more like what I love doing and how I love helping people and how to keep on growing and expanding with it. And I don't always have, I get tongue tied on my lives. I don't have cue cards. I get tongue tied, like I said, in my life sometimes because I love being able to share everything I need to share in these lives. I love showing every side to me. And I've dealt with other sides to people that were very wonderful and very nasty at the same time. You get what I mean? So all I'm saying is that it's okay. Nothing will ever be perfect, but you doing this one step at a time is going to be perfect in its own way because you're going to learn everything that you need to, okay? And how it is that you want to showcase your talents or because there's going to be an opportunity that arises in order to show everything that you have. And one of the biggest things I realized was that in these lives, you do the best you can and be happy with it. Because there's a lot of people that get different kind of messages from my lives. So whatever you're showcasing, do your best and be happy with it. And whatever comes out of it, just enjoy it throughout. If you get nervous, enjoy that nervousness because when you laugh it off or you make a joke or be silly, it's like you come back into balance again. You know what I'm saying? So I see here in the end, you're going to have that opportunity. You may not feel whole with inside you, but it leads to you giving yourself a break and regrouping and nurturing yourself in order for you to regroup of what lies ahead next. So I don't see you giving up. I see you creating, going with the flow of it, then regrouping, and then going with the flow of after regrouping to the next stage. So write down your beautiful ideas because they're not stupid. The reason why I say this throughout some of my lives is this: female leaders. They're not stupid for a reason. They may not make sense now, but it's a gift for you or later on because it'll make sense later. Okay. And because, well, our world tends to regurgitate the same thing over and over again. So your creative ideas do matter. Okay. Because it's like the best kind of medicine, like that's not artificial. It comes with originality. You may sweeten up this whole world or spice it up with your idea. Okay. But you should never give up and over analyzing it and shredding it to bits, or you're delaying our humanity, our world, from something really great that they need to experience through your idea. Okay. So, what can female leaders take away from this reading? Embrace your inner power, female leaders. Let your majestic spirit soar through life's depths. Okay. And you're going to explore your hidden treasures, goofballs. You're going to be pirates. Yay! Of the Caribbean, right? All right, that's your reading, female leaders. Really hope it helps. Big hugs. And please enjoy your journey. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later, okay? So, do an update real quick of what's going on in my life and all that good jazz. So, like I said before, 'tis the season of mending, healing, and releasing. So if you're going with life's flow, that's what's going down in November and December. We're going in, the rest of fall into winter season. So have fun with it. If you want more ideas, look into my blog. That's at mysticoraclemary.com. I post on my community tab so that way you have the links to my blog. And I'm starting to talk about things you can do, things you can eat, things to have fun, things to learn, all that good stuff. So if you are a parent, you have relationship issues, it's all right, because that blog will help you get through. I also do personal updates in case people need to know what's going on in the world. The biggest thing is going through a transformation right now. So you're going to see very much a lot of stuff on the news still. And if you find that it's throwing you off balance, not inspiring you, but pulling you down into the dumps, take a break. Because when you do, give yourself 3 days or up to a week. You'll see how safe, how sane you are, and how that was making you crazy. It's okay every once in a while. I give things about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And you'll learn everything you need to learn in that 5 minutes, whether it's news or social media. Okay. Give that article 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes. And I can tell you this: if you're getting stressed out within that 5 minutes, that was more than enough time for you to say, okay, that's all I needed to know. Because there's so much crap that happens. And we got to learn how to navigate our stresses in life, how to relieve ourselves from our stresses. So what I say about taking a break: use your meditation, your self-care regimen, and be consistent, because you're learning each and every step how to reinvest in yourself. Something we all have to learn in different points in time, but especially right now, when you're watching this, it's all right to take those breaks on whatever it is that's stressing you out in life. But in our news media, There's been a lot of riots about the EBT, a clash with, of course, Democrats and Republicans, and how there's leverages and all that stuff. So I've been telling people this is the transformation that's going on, so that way our humanity, our world can heal lack and envy. One of the biggest things I've been noticing from one extreme to the other is that even with people who have really awesome platforms, that they're not coming to realize 42 million people on EBT is literally saying yes. There's a lot of people that are in need of it. Yes, there is a lot of people that need to do that inside research to see if people are committing fraud on it or not. And not to take that EBT away from people, mainly because there are people that are going through health issues where they can't work or they could barely work and can't even do the work requirements in regards to making back their EBT money. So yeah, there's those heavy conditions. And then there's kids that cannot afford that kind of stuff. And that's huge. Kids that are not able to eat and that. And not a lot of people on EBT are spending all willy-nilly on just anything. There's a lot of people on EBT that are doing certain diets and are not even getting paid enough in order to be on a healthy diet completely, but they're doing just enough in order to get not low nutrition from their food. So, what I say to rich people that are so hypercritical on people on EBT is have that love, compassion within inside you and understanding and being patient, because love is patient, especially the male Christians that watch me, that have their own platform here, even on YouTube and Daily Wire. You are a Christian and you have a value system and compassion, and you have Jesus and God that's literally always trying to get you to open your heart and being understanding and patient in these crises. So exercise and flex that. Don't be so hypercritical on people who don't make the amount of money you do, don't have the health and energy that you do. They're trying to find their way just as much as you are. So the best thing you can do is learn more about Jesus, okay? Because for some reason, when humanity is being tested in these times, a lot of Christian and non-Christians are being very hypercritical. And then these are the times where you're needing to have that love and compassion. If I had all the money in the world, trillions of dollars, in no way, shape, or form would I be critical on people who have EBT. I would say there needs to be a solution now. Kids don't need to be hungry. Families don't need to be hungry or starving. And we need better food for our society. Let's get this shit going without any hesitation or fear, to be very honest. So God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, gave you gifts of money, not to hoard, but for you to donate to help the cause so that people don't go hungry, people need the supplies that they need, that your community grows and thrives with you. Are you going to waste the gift that you were given by your God, your Jesus, whatever belief system you have, because you want to be hypercritical? To me, no. But everybody has the right to choose. So if you do, please make sure you get the right data. So that way you make a decisive decision here. With me, I don't need that data because without any hesitation or fear, this world has provided everything that we need. The problem is, with some of us, we deal with this gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. And I'm going to keep all to myself. I'm not going to share, even though this world has taught us sharing it is going to help others and many. Yes, I know people have their limits, and they should, so that way you're not getting taken advantage of. So set healthy boundaries. It doesn't need to be impossible to get things done that need to be done. And if you're here as a politician trying to appease whether it's a Democrat leader or a Republican leader and they go against your values, you need a new leader. You need to stand in your own. And don't be scared of doing that. I do. You know why? Someone needs to lead an example of it. You know? Politics always divide. So this is why I come on a middle ground. No one does it all the time, but I do. Because of the fact we all have room to grow. Even me. So I welcome it. And I welcome every politician, every millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire to really do something different. Show something different that will grow and thrive humanity. Stop doing the opposite. Because it doesn't lead to all of us enjoying our life. It just leads to more greed, more envy, more lack until it starts building up. I rarely see a rich person actually truly enjoying their journey. Rarely. So, love talking about different things. What else is going on? Things going really good in my personal life. Other than watching news every once in a while, and I had to talk about it because it's getting ridiculous, you know? It always is, you know? And everybody has a right to their own opinion. But our humanity needs to be echoing a lot of love and compassion right now. We're in a fall season. No one needs to be out having to worry about surviving anymore. We have a world where we can thrive in. That's why I'm so passionate in talking about it. It's so ridiculous. If we all can really see that we can lead by a better example, we wouldn't have these issues. I would think it's ridiculous. We would probably laugh it off and going, you know, yeah, we wasted maybe a month of the government being shut down, but we learned a lot. We're not going to be stupid and ridiculous anymore, you know? So let's see how it goes. I'm very hopeful because no one will ever take my hope away but me. But I'm very hopeful that things will work out because they always do, you know? Even how hard the news media goes of going, da da da, there's going to be a destruction and more riots and blah blah blah. And I'm there like, are you kidding me? Because I went to school for graphic design. I know their little pinpoints of why they do that to just will people into that fear, and it's bullshit. So when you can laugh those things off, you're like, yeah, I have better things to do. So this is why I talk about it. You have better things to do being drained by that bull crap, okay? Because there's people and friends and family that want to be around you, not for you to get stuck in a mental prison about it, you know? So what's going on in my life? Well, I'm going to be dressing up for Halloween. I got to finish some classes that are free here on my channel. The last class is the water class, and I have a feeling I might dress up on that one. Me and my daughter are celebrating Halloween. Then the next one is Day of Angels, and then Day of the Dead. Uh, so what is Day of Angel or Angels? It's not really celebrating, but it's a memorial for all the kids that have passed away. Day of the Dead is the same thing for the adults, whether they're your friends or your family, any kids that have passed away that you know. So that's part of my heritage. It came from Mexico. I'm I'm Mexican, Spaniard, French, German, Italian, all that good jazz. So I share this so that way you can look into it, see it's something that you want to do, because it's always good around these times to commemorate those kind of people, do your own ceremony in your belief system, and release anything that doesn't serve you in regards to it, okay? Any hurt or pain of them passing away, that kind of stuff, okay? Because the more you release that stuff, it helps you move and groove with life, okay? And enjoying life better, okay? Not saying that it's a permanent solution, but I'm saying that it helps you understand things in such a different way in regards to death and life, okay? Um, Anything else? November, I'll be doing some extra zodiac sign readings. I did a lot of non-zodiac sign readings on my channel, so and other content I'm going to be doing in November and December. So if you subscribe, you're going to get that notification, okay? If you don't, well, hopefully you come back around, okay? Anything else? Not so much. I've been on here for about an hour and almost 40 minutes. So thank you for watching me this long, for those who do. Oh, the biggest thing that's going on, I noticed too in the collective, is vulnerability. So this is what it looks like. If you have that love interest or that partner that you want to be vulnerable and reactivate it or just activate it, it's simply, and it can be that simple. What makes it complex is if you don't trust yourself to want to open that door. And I get it. You know, it takes steps. Um, but what it looks like is sharing a fear. Also, appreciation. Also, your wants and needs. So here's a fear. It was around COVID time, and it was on Mother's Day on top of it. I was running down the stairs and I missed the last two steps. I hit back and slammed right on my right leg. I ended up having a spiral fracture down my right leg and fracture in my right, 4 fractures in my right ankle. I was like, crap. Mind you, this Yeah, it was a lot of pain, but I can deal with a lot of pain. High threshold. And I was like scooting myself back on the floor and I yelled for my daughter. She asked me what was wrong. I said, I think I broke my leg. And I'm going to call up 911. You stay home and I'm going to go there and see what they're going to do. And I'm going to give you a call when I get before I come back home. She's like, okay. So I said, just be calm. Everything's going to be okay. And when I tried to move it, I was like, oh boy, this is bad. I literally cried, not because in pain, but because of the fact I was like, I am in a situation. I have never broke anything like this in my life. What the hell? This sucks. Because I'm always the person like on the go doing things, especially around that time. So when they came, the ambulance, it was one tall guy and one big gal. I'm a big gal, okay? So I'm here on the floor and I scoot myself to this couch, pulled myself up on the couch, but before I did, I had to lay out my arm like this, straight, like this, okay? And she had to do the IV in that. This girl was freaking shaking, okay? I said, what's the matter? She goes, well, we came from a couple of falls and stuff. I said, you can take a breather before you do this. She goes, no, I can do this. She did it. She put in the IV, but then she pulled out the needle. And I was like, oh, this is not good. All of a sudden, a pool of blood just was forming there. And I was like, oh, God. I said, I already know that's not supposed to happen. I said, you want to give me it? She goes, oh, my God, I was not supposed to pull that out. Yeah. So I helped her calm her down. I said, it's all right. Shit happens. And she stopped shaking. She redid the IV. The guy was nice enough. I mean, really cool. He was seeing how helpful I was being. He goes, well, we're going to have to lift you up in this gurney. I said, no, you're not. He goes, why? I said, because I'm going to do it. He didn't believe me. But then he surprised me. He goes, but since you've been such a good sport, I'm going to give you this painkiller. I was like, yippee! Because at that point, they didn't even have my leg yet wrapped up or anything to be put on the gurney. So he gave me a shot of the good stuff. And he goes, are you ready? We're going to help you up. And I said, nope. You're going to watch me pull myself up and hop onto that gurney. And they were no joke. They were like, wow. I just did a hoppity hop right on there. And they said, we've never seen anybody do that. And I was like, you know what? I just didn't want to hurt you guys and hurt myself in the process and land back up on the floor again. I was doing everything through that situation to laugh and make it comfortable. I got a lot of compliments because of that, because I went to the Coshocton Hospital before there was a Genesis here. And everybody knows that anybody knows that lives here in Coshocton, you only go to Coshocton Hospital if it's like cuts and bruises. You don't go to Coshocton Hospital if it's breaks and stuff like that or surgery, because it's not that kind of hospital. They don't have everything that they need, and they don't have, a lot of the doctors are not good at what they do. No offense to them if they're watching me. But I was sent there. And no joke, when I was sent there, they were talking for hours on what they should do in order to make things better for me. Because they didn't have what I needed in order for them to do the surgery or anything to put a bar right through my leg. So in the end, I got back home. I had to wait over a month with my leg in a cast and it being recasted about 3 times, me healing on my own, me being rejected from doing surgery because they didn't have my COVID, they lost my COVID test. And so in the end, I didn't have to put a bar right through my leg. My hugest fear was about me not being able to come back home and wondering what I should do and how, like, there was a lot of fear of having to depend on somebody to do things for me. Luckily, it all worked out. So, yeah, there's a huge vulnerability in having to do those situations and not having somebody. So, something about me, I love being independent, but I also love when help is around. So, males and females that are dealing with any vulnerability issues, be vulnerable with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Love yourself. Then it'll be easier for you to be like that to anybody around you that, hell, I can do it on a live, you know. But it really isn't that hard if you want it to happen. Now, men and women having issues of expressing themselves. Take one step at a time to do it. If you want to be around that love interest, make the practical steps to do that. Pick up the device of what it is that you want to call them from, email them from, and be practical about it. Hey, I saw you, blah, 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 and I want to get to know you. Or whatever it is you want to initiate, be very simple. Now, if you want to profess your love to them and you just met them, pull back, okay? One step at a time, don't be so fast, okay? The worst thing you can do is regret of you not even trying to see what the answer is. I know not too long ago, one of the things I wanted to know if someone was interested in me. When it came to pass and I knew my answer, I was very happy and thankful just to know. And I didn't condemn the person of whatever choice they made and whatnot in this situation. I just got to know my answer of me wanting something committal long term, and they're just in limbo. Them figuring out if they ever want something that. You get what I mean? So the hugest thing is just accepting whatever answer you're going to get and being free to know at least you know the answer and you're not stuck up in your head of wondering if you should express yourself to find out the answer, if your love interest wants to get to know you and stuff like that, okay? You'll know when you're ready because you'll feel it. Because I felt my way through this moment and I'm not afraid. And soon, when you keep on flexing that and exercising that, you won't be afraid anymore, too. Okay? So, one step at a time, and you'll navigate through it, okay? So, with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you on the next live, and that is going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. if you want to take that water class on that Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So, Enjoy your journey, and I'll see you later, okay? Bye for now.